On every fabric sling, there is rigging configurations and what they're good for. So straight pull, vertical. Basically, you hook this thing on the line, hook it to the bottom of whatever you're going to do. That's called the straight pull. This choker is good for 5,300 pounds, which is pretty good considering how small it is. As soon as you choke it, it's rated at 0.75 of that, so 4,300 pounds. So choke, through like that, that's a choke. Now a choke is really, really good, especially for wood, because as it pulls, it tightens, so it's not going to slip off. Basket hitch is really good for capacity if you're lifting something flat, but you have to worry about boom angle. Basket hitch, you have double the capacity, but shit can fall out. So like a double basket hitch, some people refer to as a casket hitch. If you have two slings like this, if your boom angle is too much, and it's something big and heavy especially, if your boom angle is too low, hold this, and you lift it like this, what happens is there's so much force pulling them in, one will slide in eventually, and then it'll tip over and fall out. Big, big problem. But really good for capacity. If you look at your basket hitch capacity here, 10,600. And it has to be, to get a true basket hitch capacity, it has to be 5D, which means 5 diameters of the sling. This is mostly good with wire rope because it has a defined diameter. These don't. I mean, this is a 3/16. All right. I think this protects sling from being cut or damaged by corners and edges if radius is less than a 1/4 inch. I think this is a 3/16 sling. So 5 times 3/16 is the minimum round piece of something that you're going to get that 5D to get your true basket hitch rating. There you go. So yeah, that would be the smallest diameter you could do and get a true basket rating. These all have to be inspected. They all have to be certified. Wire or chains have to be inspected and certified, and non-destructive testing, pull tested, magnafluxed, and certified every year. These slings in particular, you're allowed a nick in them, no bigger than the thickness. So they're this thick, you're allowed a nick that big. We tend to get rid of these a lot because they're very cheap. So if they're worn out, throw it away and get a new one. These ones in particular are much more expensive. These are Kevlars. This right here is good for 29,000 pounds in a basket. So it's 17,000 pound strap. And it's pretty light because it's Kevlar, but it's garbage. So if you can see white, it's garbage usually. You can send it out, get it resheathed. If any, they'll tell you basically, no, it's garbage. If any of these are compromised in any way, it's just garbage. These are really, really, really great slings, really versatile and really, really strong, but they don't have the wear capacity and the damage resistance that like wire rope or chain does. The problem with wire rope and chain is it destroys wood. So you're using fabric, guaranteed. If you're doing glue lam, you're using fabric slings anyways. What's that? Or yeah, well, or hardware. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we'd still use. Everybody uses fabric. They don't want chains bouncing around and smacking stuff. Like generally, I wouldn't even have chains on. What I would have probably is I'd make my own bridle with a big shackle and two, like say 20-foot, like these two. Yeah, and that's what we'd use for almost everything because you don't want stuff bouncing into nice, freshly milled, polished, coated wood.